not try anything you're about to see at home. I am not what they call a professional. Do you suffer from TMI due to TPMS? The Misinformation Busters are here to help you, yes, you. But first, some important background information. The facts presented in this video are just that, facts, based on decades of real-life experience and car ownership and operation. To cite every source would make this video way too long and way more boring. For over 60 years, Fergie has made friends with folks who work in every aspect of vehicle operations, including tire design and manufacturing. How many times has this happened to you? You're driving down the road, enjoying the drive, enjoying the weather, and being a conscientious driver, you decide to check your various gauges. So you pull them up, you pull up the tire pressure reading, and oh no, you're over the recommended limits. Suddenly, visions of blown out tires flash through your mind. Why, this could be catastrophic. A blown out tire because you're overinflated. So you pull over into the nearest area where you can maybe check your tires because you don't want a blowout. You don't want to hurt you and your dog, because a blown out tire due to overinflation would be devastating. Well, don't panic, as Douglas Adams said in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and always know where your towel is. Well, in the 1990s, Congress decided they had to do something because of the growing threat on our nation's highways of road gators. Yes, the carcasses from blown out tires. And as it turns out, though, the tires were causing accidents and injuries. Well, the sudden catastrophic failure is not caused by overinflation, but rather by dangerous underinflation. And that's when Congress decided to come up with a silly name rather than, well, let's say the Safer Tire Act or the Tire Safety Act. No, they came up with the ludicrous TREAD Act of 2000. Transportation Recall Enhancement Accountability and Documentation. You see anything about tires in there? I don't. Well, anyway, the idea behind the TREAD Act was that by the year 2007, all vehicles sold in the United States had to be equipped with a low-pressure warning device and the familiar icon that you see here. And that was great until the nerdy engineers got involved and said, hey, we could put a gauge up that would show your pressures in real time. That would be great. And then the tree huggers went, yeah, and that would help maintain proper pressure, because everyone knows that would save 1 billion gallons of gas every day and even save a couple of trees a decade. I'm driving in my car. Okay, so you're driving along, you decide to check all your gauges, and of course your tire pressure gauge. Oh no, you're underinflated. That's dangerous. Why didn't the icon pop on to warn you? Well, don't panic. The icon only pops up when you are 25% underinflated. That's the danger zone. Did you know that all pneumatic tires have shared one common trait? All of them. Since they were invented in 1845 by Robert W. Thompson, a Scotsman, and perfected in 1887 by John Boyd Dunlap. Tire pressures change constantly. Tire pressure is not a static number. Now, what causes them to change? Well, the number one is the speed of your vehicle. Number two is corner, especially in aggressive cornering. 3, steep uphills, steep downhills. 4, road temperature. And 5, heavy loads. Like, how many bodies do you have? I mean, how many golf clubs do you have in the trunk? So the truth of the matter is, since the day you got your driver's license till the day you had your first car with a TPMS, you were driving along blissfully unaware that your tire pressures were changing. Sometimes they were over, sometimes they were under. And it affected you how? Well, not one whit. But what about before TPMS? Glad you asked. My 2002 Camaro's owner's manual said quite simply, you only needed to check your tires at least once a month. Yeah, that's it. Once a month. Well, more often if you wanted to, but once a month. That was it. That's all we needed. Not several times an hour driving down the road. And here's an area where I disagree with most owner's manuals, because they now say the tire pressure display will help you maintain the recommended tire pressures for your vehicle. Well, I claim that's bogus because it violates the prime directives of checking your tire pressure. 1, you only check your tires when they are cold, and you never let air out of a hot tire. Now, General Motors, Nissan, and other manufacturers say tires are considered cold when the vehicle has been parked or sitting for at least 3 hours. Parked or sitting. Or the vehicle has been driven less than 1 mile at moderate speeds. Well, since your vehicle has not been parked and it's been driven for over a mile, you shouldn't be checking your pressures. So the readings, while they may be accurate of the pressure in your tires, they don't mean anything. It's useless information. But Fergie, but what about the maximum pressure that's on the sidewall tires? What about that maximum pressure? Well, I got news for you. That is not a never ever exceed maximum pressure. It's there for a different reason, and it has to deal with how you operate your vehicle. To wit, page 645 of my Camaro's owner's manual states quite simply, if you'll be driving at 100 miles an hour or higher, set the cold inflation pressure to the maximum pressure shown on the sidewall or to 38 psi, whichever is lower. When you end this high-speed driving, return to the cold inflation pressure shown on the tire loading information manual. Now, you don't think that tire is going to exceed the maximum pressure on the sidewall because speed causes the pressure to go up. Well, guess what? The engineers took that into account. And they know that if you set it to that pressure on the sidewall for that when you're doing that excessive speed driving, everything will be fine. You're going to exceed that and nothing bad is going to happen. So chill out and relax. Did you know that the TPMS can be affected by radio interference and give inaccurate readings? Well, guess what? Proper manual direct reading gauges are not interfered with by radio waves. So, the best way to check your tire pressure? Well, you remove your metal valve stem cap, hopefully it's metal, with a rubber gasket in there. And then you get your manual direct reading tire pressure gauge, which is, well, it was set to kilopascals or something. Now it's back to PSI 31.5. Perfect. No problems there. and put your metal valve stem cap back in place. And your valve stem caps are important to prevent air loss. So, what do now? You chill out and relax and don't worry about your real-time tire pressure readings. They will drive you crazy.